This is the review video for the chapters 30 through 30. The chapters 30 through 33 test review. Question number 1. The African National Congress was founded by well-educated lawyers and journalists. Question number 2. Haile Selassie overthrew Italian rule in Ethiopia and ruled Ethiopia until 1974, 1975. Question number 3. The Indian Civil Service was new from the English gentry. And I got to start over on this. No, I'm going to keep going. The Indian Civil Service was men from the English gentry. The British encouraged infrastructure projects but discouraged productive industries in India. Number 4, the Indian Nationalist movement was sparked by Lord Curzor's Curzors
Roar.
unilateral decision to divide Belgium into Bengal to divide Bengal into two provinces. During World War II, the British offered India their independence, and after the war, offered their independence after the war if they helped fight during World War II. Number 5, Zapata got land and he returned it to Indian villages. Zapata and Pancho Villa were never able to form a strong national movement for independence. Question number 6. Quick question. That's disgusting. Good, I'm glad. Question 6. The Constitutionalists, they defeated and killed Zapata and Pancho Villa. They controlled oil exports, and they used profits from oil to buy weapons, and they adopted many agrarian and social reforms. The Constitutionalists were Mexico's middle class and industrial workers. Number 7, the Marshall Plan provided $12.5 billion in income aid to friendly European countries. Number 8, the Green Revolution is the development of miracle rice. Number 9, the Korean War was limited to the Korean Peninsula because the U.S. feared that attacking China might prompt Soviet retaliation. Number 10 is Kashmir. Number 11 is Ho Chi Minh. He inspired a national coalition against the French, and then he led the North Vietnamese to make all Vietnam communist. Question number 12, the French-Algerian War. It ended in 1962 with Algerian independence. It began with a revolt in 1954. Just hit me. Yes, I'm okay. Oh, my migraine. I need a monster. Yes, we're sponsored by Monster. It began with the revolt in 1954. It produced an Algerian independence movement organized by the Front de Libération Nationale of the FLN. Algerian forces were supported by Egypt and other Arab countries. Number 13, Congo was chaotic and violent. 14, independence movements occurred in Latin America in the 1800s, but industrialization did not quickly follow. Question 15 talks about Fidel Castro. Castro wanted to end American economic imperialism in Cuba, and the U.S. sponsored an overthrow with the Bay of Pigs invasion, but that was a failure. 16, Mao's Great Leap Forward, and he wanted to industrialize China using small-scale industries and collectivized agriculture. Number 17, the 6 Days War of 1967 gave Israel all of Jerusalem and the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, the Golan Heights, and the Sinai Peninsula, and it was a huge victory for Israel. Question number 18. Salvador Allende was a leader of Chile who sought to implement social reforms. 19, we see torture and executions by the military. That's dirty war. Number 20, neoliberalism is reducing the role of the state in the economy. Question number 21, Ayatollah Khomeini. He sought to institute a parliamentary republic with strict control by religious officials. Saddam Hussein feared that the revolution in Iran would incite Iraq's Shias to rebel. 22. What is perestroika? This is a policy of restructuring by Gorbachev. And he wanted to liberalize the communist Soviet Union. 23, what's going on in the Balkan Peninsula in the 1990s is ethnic cleansing between Christian, Serbians, and Muslims. Question 24, Thomas Malthus, he claimed that population growth would outstrip food production. So that's a fear that he had. 25, the conflict in Rwanda, Rwanda's Hutus against the Tutsis. This is an ethnic conflict after the Dutch withdrew from Rwanda. 26, what are some things generally associated with low birth rates in industrialized nations? And it says here that you could look on page 929 for more. But just to go over a couple things, modern consumer culture, high levels of women's education and employment, access to contraceptives and abortion, and women deferring marriage and having children until they have established careers. All of those things are going to lead to lower birth rates in industrialized nations. Number 27, name some things true about technological innovation after World War II. It gives a rise to economic expansion and increased productivity. It changed the way people lived, the way that they worked, and the way that they played. It intensified environmental destruction. Those are just to name a few things. Again, page 935 if you want more on that. What is globalization? It is the growing global economic, cultural, and political integration and interaction. 29, the collapse of the American housing market. You can look on page 952 for more on this, but it is the assumption that home prices would continue to rise led to risky loan measures, which led to the collapse. Number 30, what was controversial about Vladimir Putin as president in Russia? As president, it's said that he engineered the elections so that his protege would become prime minister, and then when he steps down from being president, his protege would then become president, and he would take the position of prime minister. Question 31, what was the stated purpose of the U.S. invasion of Iraq? They stated that they were looking for weapons of mass destruction, but once they were in the country, they then decided to set up a pro-democracy government. Question 32, what... One moment, please. Hello, Coach Chappell. Alexis Rhodes? Okay. All right. There's no Alexis Rhodes, is there? Okay. All right. What number was I on? 32. Yeah, what did the EU do in 2002 to promote growth? To convince people that this government can't ensure their safety. 33, the EU adopts a common currency in the year 2002. 34, why does the World Trade Organization attract critics and protests? This is on page 950. Many people oppose the World Trade Organization because of fear of job loss as manufacturers relocated to poorer countries. 35. I'm getting nervous. 35. What is the most criticized Muslim practice concerning women? Western women criticize the practice of Muslim women wearing veils and loose clothing. 36, what did the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights reflect? Why has it been criticized? Page 961. The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights reflected an international consensus against against I've been hit in the head twice. Golly. It reflected against racism and imperialism. However, it has been criticized as universal principles with largely Western origin. All right. Last two questions before I get hit again. What is the internet? If you don't know what the internet is, how are you watching this? The internet is a linkage of academic, governmental, and business computer networks. And the final question that you will ever watch for a review video in AP World History. After World War II, American culture became popular all over the world, but so did other countries.
Love you, Chapel!
Love you too.